This would
Hello,
be
this
Rick
is
Wright. Rick Wright, if you can hear me.
Rick. Hi, Rick. How are you? Dale Pinkert here.
Nice to hear y'all again.
All right, nice to hear you, and I like your photo that you have here of yourself. A nice little blue icon. I want to congratulate you on winning the FXstreet Award. Can you tell us what the category was again, Rick?
I believe this was the award for the best educational reports that I'm sharing with Sam Evans.
Okay, so it's Rick. Okay, Rick
Yes.
and Sam. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Sam is
I
actually
think
not
that.
joining us today.
Excuse me?
Sam is actually not going to be able to join us today, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay, well, I think this is the second year in a row for you guys, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I think it's three out of the last 4 years, if I remember right. So yeah, two in a
Well,
row.
you got that's a great batting average and shows how much the FX Street community respects what you do. So
Thank you very much.
congratulations
Love it.
on that.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you want to go there with me, Rick, but you know we have the Fed this week. We had the ECB last week. Probably the most volatile 4-hour session in the euro since last March.
Right.
What are you telling your people here vis-a-vis the dollar?
Well, compared to the euro, basically been telling people that we've been stuck in a channel for more or less actually a little more than a year, and I'm not a huge fan of
Yeah.
channel trading myself, so I've been kind of pushing people into the British pound and also pretty much any of the crosses, just because the euro US dollar pair has really been as far as I'm concerned an underperformer.
Yeah, and your bias on the pound, we've had a recovery from a shade under 140. Some people saying that we might, after a pullback, make a push towards 45, 46. Is it your view that eventually we challenge that 2008 low of 135?
Well, I mean, I made a call, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or so back when we were trading around 157, that we were going to make it down here to the 145 range, and optimistically, I guess for traders' sake, I'm thinking we might be down to the 135 mark or so. Eventually, kind of choppy and slow, but that's my direction.
Okay, and what kind of methods do you and Sam teach? I know that you guys are with OTA, Online Trading Academy, so I know they have many different instructors, Sam Seiden and Robert Dunn, who I've interviewed as well.
Yes.
What's your specialty technically that has made you so popular among the FX3 community?
For at least myself, I'm going to have to say we try to make things, or at least I try to make things as simple as possible. I'm a big fan of using, our supply and demand levels and kind of intersecting those with larger time frame moving averages, weekly moving averages, and daily. That mainly for direction and also some intersection type of stuff. But it's been pretty successful, and using 50 different indicators on the screen, you're just trying to show off how much you do know about all these different things that your computer can do.
Well, you don't need you have a Forrest Gump philosophy.
Exactly. If you need to do many of those things, I think it means that you don't really know what you're doing.
I'm curious, a lot of people have used different time frame moving averages for different reasons. It could be fib numbers, natural numbers.
Right.
Curious what your favorite EMAs are.
I keep it simple, like some of just the old school stuff. 20, 50, 200. Actually, I do go a little complicated. I keep them on the exponential side. So that's about as difficult as I make them. But the standard 20, 50, and 200. Use them for direction. Because everybody understands now that with all the computer trading out there, it's just one of the easiest computer things that people can actually program and trade off of. And if it has not stopped working, why stop using it?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure you come across this question quite a lot. I do. People are want to learn how to trade, and they take your courses and at Online Trading Academy.
Right.
Don't people ask you, Rick, how much equity do I need to be able to be a full-time trader and trade for a living? And what do you tell them?
Well, I tell them number one, it depends on, well, where you live, how much money you need to have to live there, what lifestyle that you actually want. If you live in New York City versus living in small town Iowa, where I grew up, your need for money is much greater in New York. So you have
Yeah.
to start with a much bigger basket of cash. Also, how good of a trader you are. If you're only making 5 or 10% per year in your personal account, well, then you're gonna need a pretty sizable number to live off of that rate of return. So there's really not a great answer that I can give folks.
Yeah. There is no answer, is there? I mean, when people
Not really.
ask me that, Rick, I live in San Diego, pretty expensive
Mm-hmm.
here, and the average question is, can I trade for a living with a $10,000 account? And I say yes if you want to live beneath an underpass. So,
That's
uh,
exactly
so
that's
uh,
exactly where I would be living as well.
yeah, so it's a couple grand just to have a tent here in San Diego. So, let me ask you this: where you from in Iowa, and did you have an agricultural background, and is that how you got involved in the markets? How did it begin for you?
No, small town Iowa up in north central portion, a little town called Iowa Falls. My family was not in the agriculture anything at all, but a lot of my friends were, and I went to Iowa State and studied economics and psychology, and I met a guy who basically was a trader on one of the floors in Chicago when I was
No.
still in school, and that's kind of where the bug caught me.
Okay, so you have him to blame. Are you still friends with him?
Yes, I am. He still lives out in Chicago as we speak.
Okay. Okay, so great story, and I was wondering if you could expound upon how it was for you at the beginning of your journey and how long it took you to become effective,
Hmm.
proficient. Another expression I use is you can't learn experience. It only comes with the passing of time, right? And living through things. And in our business, I guess that time would be screen time.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it was for you in the beginning, and how you started, and when your eyes were open to things that you use today, and did you have a mentor or did you take courses?
Well,
Or are you
I was a
self-taught, buddy? Are you self-taught like I was?
I am not self-taught. I copied people who were already successful before me. So I guess I took
Great.
a shortcut. I was a
Yeah, that's
stockbroker back.
Tony Robbins. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just model yourself off someone successful.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the path to learning as long as you want it, but just watching somebody else, at least in my experience, makes things so much easier and faster. But I was a stockbroker right out of college, and started managing an office here in Dallas, Texas. I still live in Dallas to this day. And back in the early mid '90s, there really wasn't a lot of computer internet trading going on. So about '97, there was some of the brokers leaving my office to go off and day trade at some of the old So's houses. So '97, I left managing the brokerage office, started So's trading and a small order execution system for those of you who
Right.
weren't around back in '97.
Yeah,
But I
they
was
called
really
you guys. They called you guys bandits,
Yeah,
didn't they?
yes, that was a really kind
You
word that they used for some of us.
bandito. You're a bandito, and you're living on the other side of where Trump's going to build the wall.
That's going to be a great looking wall. I can't wait to
Yeah,
spray paint some
yeah,
new names on there.
and the Mexicans, Mexico's going to pay for it.
That's truly not going to happen. So anyway, I actually got really lucky. I sat between two guys who were already, good traders on the first So's floor that I was at, and if I would have sat between two people who were not good, I probably would have blown up my account in a hurry and had to go off and do something else. But I learned from people who are already good. More or less the similar thing just when I started trading foreign currencies back in 2002. I didn't even know really what it was, but I'd met some people who, through trading and all that, who already knew what they were doing with that. And since I went from basically scalping stocks to more swing and position trading foreign currencies, is essentially copying somebody else who's doing well at a style that you like to do.
And was that person from OTA? How did you get involved with OTA?
No, OTA came about, at least for me, about 10 years or so back, when I'm sure you've probably come across this once or twice, where if you're just sitting here trading at home, all by yourself, it starts to get to be very, very boring after a while. So I personally got a little bit fat, and I just was looking for something else to do, and not really knowing how to do too many things. I can play golf and video games, and I can trade. I just basically stumbled across Online Trading Academy in an internet search, looking for something else to do besides sit here at the house and stare at myself in the screen. So passed their tests, and one thing led to another, and they basically get me out of the house a week or 2 weeks out of the month, and so I've been teaching with them for 10 years now.
Yeah, that is something. I think that's one of the reasons why chat rooms and trading communities became popular, because you expressed a theme of working with others and learning from others and being in between others. That collaboration is an important aspect of this. When I was younger, the only reason I wanted to know what people were doing was so I could fade them. But I've learned over the years that we can learn from everybody, can't we?
Absolutely.
We only have one set of eyes, and when you're collaborating with people, they're going to see things you don't see and point your eye towards it. So, what's the best way for people to follow you, get involved with you? I know you're on. You do this work on FXstreet. Maybe you have a Twitter handle or some other way for people to get in touch with you.
Well, yes, I am on Twitter. It's at ForexRick. You can certainly go to the Online Trading Academy website, also on the FXstreet site. I have my email address on there, and that's my first initial R, the last name Wright, WRIGHT, at tradingacademy.com. So you can get a hold of me, basically either of those couple of ways there.
Okay, congratulations again, Rick. Pass our congratulations on to your partner as well.
I will absolutely do that.
And keep up the great work of serving the community and paying it forward to share your knowledge and expertise with the FXstreet community.
Well, thanks very much to everybody at FXstreet, and hopefully we'll see you again the same time next year.
Okay, that would make it 4 out of 5, huh?
There we go.
All right. Thank you so much, Rick.